Hi YouTube, once again I am hopping on here to provide an update on my Zepbound weight loss journey. And let's see, it's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. It's been a few days, I think, since I've posted an update. And excuse me, I just got home from working all day. I worked 8:30 to 5. Just got home, took my dog out real quick. We're gonna do a longer walk later this evening before it gets dark. And it is getting dark sooner now that we are approaching the end of summer. So I just wanted to give an update. I have some great news. I hit my 12-week on Zepbound mark. 12 weeks. I've officially been on Zepbound, the auto-injector pens, for 12 weeks. So I've got 12 weeks under my belt. And today I weighed in at 159.2 pounds. Woo! So that means tomorrow I very well could be 158. I haven't done the math. Okay, so 194 was my starting weight 12 weeks ago. So 194 minus one, oh gosh, I might need a pen and paper for this one because I'm on my phone and I can't access the calculator. It might shut the video off. So, and again, I apologize for the way I look. I am looking disheveled because I worked all day behind a desk. It was pretty hot today. Our weather's been very warm here in Southern California, Orange County. And I had a long week at work, with work, and I'm just exhausted, to be honest. And just, kind of a little fatigued. I'm trying to decide whether or not to give up caffeine. I've definitely cut my intake back a ton. Not that I drank a lot, but like I would have espresso daily prior to starting Zepbound 12 weeks ago. And then I remember when I took my first shot of the 2.5 milligram Zepbound, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I had no appetite. I had no appetite for caffeine. So that was my first little caffeine cleanse when I first started Zepbound in mid-June. And then I slowly started, kind of reintroducing it back into my diet. Now I'm down to one caffeinated beverage. Not that I had more than that, but I've laid off of the espresso and I'm opting now for more just like cold brew or the iced teas, yerba mate. I'm on a yerba mate kick right now. I've also given up energy drinks. So because I work, oh my God, I just look disgusting. Because I work 8 to 5 and I have to sustain and I deal with numbers and I use 3 screens and at my desk, at work. I have to be on mentally and I have to think clearly. So caffeine has always just enhanced. I was never, huge on caffeine, but I would go to Starbucks every day prior to the GLP-1. I would go to Starbucks. I also have an espresso maker that is collecting dust right now because I haven't even repurchased my Nespresso pods because I'm really scaling back from caffeine. I used to also do the energy drinks because I would do one to kind of get me through the workday to keep my mental clarity, but I am not doing that anymore. I did attempt after the GLP-1 to maybe have like one Celsius energy drink. But to be honest, I think it's affecting my sleep because of the GLP-1. The GLP-1 slows down your digestion and it therefore slows down your absorption of caffeine and it prolongs the effects of caffeine. And I'm already somewhat caffeine sensitive, I believe, just genetically. So I've really scaled down to like a half a cup of coffee a day, a Keurig at work. I'll do like I'll just make a Keurig pod, and then I'll drink maybe at most half of that. Again, I tried Celsius, like 1 Celsius drink here and there. I'm just not really liking the way I'm feeling on it because I do notice that it affects my sleep at night. And for those of you that don't know, I am in, I want to say late perimenopause. I'm 48 years old. I'll be 49 at the end of this year. And this is why my face is looking the way it is. I have been having horrendous perimenopause symptoms. And so much so that I honestly just wanted to be on the GLP-1 by itself, because that's the way I am. I don't really take medications. And so when I started the GLP-1, that was going to be all that I took. But I am having horrible hormonal ups and downs with perimenopause. And I think that the GLP-1 has also affected my hormones, not in a bad way, in a good way, probably the GLP-1, because I heard that it's almost synergistic with estrogen production and hormonal balance. However, I'm in perimenopause, so my hormones aren't going to be balanced, GLP-1 or no GLP-1. I am a roller coaster. So much so that I look like a freaking teenager now on my face. When I first started the GLP-1, my face was glowing. My skin was glowing. My skin was just glass. And this was mid-June to the end of June. It was beautiful. Then all of a sudden, July, I started to break out. And then in August, totally broken out down here, mostly, just everywhere, really, kind of. But so my point of babbling about this is that it's awful. Perimenopause is awful, and I'm on the GLP-1, so I had no option but to treat for my perimenopause symptoms while on the GLP-1, which is exactly what I didn't want to do, because I just stated that I wanted to do the GLP-1 completely alone by itself, maybe a Benadryl or a Tylenol, here and there if needed, when needed, throughout me being on Zepbound. But I am having the acne, and I'm also having insomnia, which is why I'm cutting back on the caffeine. And I started the birth control patch. I have big arms, by the way. So I carry a lot of my weight in my arms. Mostly upper body, my weight. I carry it under here. Because mind you, I was 194 pounds just in mid-June of this year, 12 weeks ago, in fact. I carry my weight in here, my upper arms, and in my abdomen. And again, I think I'm just predispositioned genetically to carry my weight like that. But perimenopause certainly has not helped, because I heard as your estrogen dips down, has peaks and valleys, that you redistribute, where you store fat. Your body composition changes. And so it did me no favors. It added on, my fat was adding on to my already big belly and my already big upper arms. So I'm looking forward to, I think those areas are the ones that the weight's going to come off the lastly. How sometimes weight in your face can come off first, or it can come off last in your weight loss journey. So I really feel that the last bit of weight in my face and in my upper arms and in my stomach will come off at the very end of my journey. My goal weight is 120 pounds max. I'm only 5'4", small to medium boned. So I can get away with even being between 115 and 120. So I'm setting it to 120, and then we'll see when we get there. When I get closer to 120, I am going to start incorporating weight training and weightlifting, because that has been a huge part of my life. Up until about age, even in my early 40s, it was still a big part of my life. Just not right now. Right now, I'm focusing on diet restriction, fasting, and walking. As I mentioned in previous videos, I'm walking almost averaging between 7,000 and 10,000 steps per day, which equates to between maybe 3 to 4 miles a day. Not every day I hit that, but that's my average, because I do have an app on my phone, and I am tracking my steps and my mileage. And I do all my walking outside. Luckily, I live in Southern California. It's still summertime. So I have a lot of terrain to hit, even on my street. My street is uphill. It's steady incline for a mile. And then you can go all the way down 5 miles to the beach. But I don't really go that way. I like to go incline. So I've just been kind of going a mile up the hill and taking various routes up in back of my neighborhood. Excuse me, I'm not feeling very well. I haven't been sleeping very well. So here I have this patch now, and it's a birth control patch because I'm technically just in perimenopause. I'm not in menopause yet. I still have my cycle. So I'm hoping this will regulate my cycles, which were kind of all over the place. And I'm hoping it'll get rid of this God-forsaken acne. And I also did some research, and I heard that hormone replacement therapy or birth control patch, synthetic hormones or bioidentical hormones, they pair very well with GLP-1. So I'm just kind of doing a little experiment to see if this is going to either hinder my weight loss or if it's going to enhance it. So far, again, I've completed 12 weeks and I still haven't done the math. My brain is fried. I do work with numbers all day and I just can't even. So 194 minus 159. 94 minus 159. 15, 35 pounds. 94, 9. 35 pounds. 35 pounds lost in 12 weeks. Tomorrow I'm going to be 158 because today I was 159.2. So tomorrow I'm probably going to be 158. I kind of can gauge how things go. So I'm guessing I'm going to be 158. So 35 pounds. 35 pounds lost today, and tomorrow it will be 36 pounds if I'm 158. Yeah, if I'm 158 tomorrow, like I'm guessing, I'll have lost 36 pounds in 12 weeks. And all of that was on the 2.5 milligrams because I am only on my second shot of my 5 milligrams. Yes, I just took my second shot of 5 milligrams this week. So most of that weight loss, 30 plus pounds, 35, 36 pounds, was on 2.5 milligrams of Zepbound. So we'll see how this works out with the patch. And I can't wait till my upper arm fat goes away. It looks worse when I'm kind of have my arms lax, you know? It's a lot of fat. Probably some extra skin there too, but that's a lot of fat. I'm hoping that's going to go and then I can tone up my arms. But yeah, it depends. Like if I flex it or like, you know, hold it a certain way. But then if I'm just kind of lax, I mean, it looks disgusting. Anyways, I hope you all have a great weekend. Love ya. Take care.